Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl here to bring you another reading for Scorpio. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me, keeping me safe. And we have 3 cards that didn't lift off. Wisdom from our Hermit. Sorry, Scorpio, I just drew a blank there. The wisdom from our Hermit, looking into what was in the past, how we felt and what we felt about who we felt and where we've been and what we've done, seeing the light on what we really want out of a certain situation or relationship. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles. So we're looking back at a difficult time. We're looking back at what would have been a state of confusion. Being that we're not too secure in what we want, or we're not getting any satisfaction out of what we've been doing. Looking at the past and wondering what we could change, going back to where we've been recognized, to a point where we're not feeling like we belong. So something that you may have outgrown, Scorpio. We have the 4 of Swords to show that you've been contemplating. And then we have the Judgment card with the 9 of Wands to say that we're not trusting certain individuals, one in particular. We're not trusting someone. We're feeling like we don't belong. And then we have another 7. We're thinking that we need to defend ourselves or stand in the integrity of, I know I need to pay attention. Again, going back to the Hermit, I need to pay attention to what's going on around me because I don't trust that certain individuals or a particular individual has my best interest at heart. Scorpio, this is the time. This is the time of being on the defense. This is the time for getting into arguments and family rivalry and couples fighting over possessions or position in a relationship, etc. It's a difficult week this week that I'm putting this reading out, between the 15th and the 21st. It's pretty rough, especially for fire sign related issues where you may be a fire sign or you're dealing with a fire sign, because we're triggered. And I say we, everybody in general, but fire signs in particular may have a little more fire in them to jump the gun or feel that they have to defend or pick a fight. And the remedies that are for that type of situation is to hold back and go within and meditate and just take time away for yourself. Whether you're fire sign or not, it's the best thing to do for this period of transits with Mars and Mercury and the Sun going into Libra. It's really a trying time for everybody, but it's a question of paying attention to what you have going on around you, knowing that you have everything that you need to come away from this feeling of insecurity or reckoning with things of the past, where you may again be looking back. Again, the 9 of Swords relates to the Hermit in mental anguish and seeking the light, looking for some retribution and wanting to make things different, make things change, and feeling that you can, and knowing that you have the ability to turn things around. be careful that you overexert yourself. You don't want to push yourself too hard. It is a question of being honest, recognizing the truth, and knowing your part in if there were untruths told or betrayals that may have come around or come about a certain relationship. Eight of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles indicates that this is a moving slowly towards the end of a cycle. We have the 9 with the 1 sword here, which would make it 10, and then we have the 8 going with the 1 pentacle to the 9 to be on your own and take that time away from certain individuals, or just spending time with yourself and meditating, or clearing up your mind, or clearing out what no longer serves you in your space, to bring in that feeling of things are going to change and believing that they will. The Magician is there to say that you do have what it takes, Scorpio. You're very capable. If you're made to feel that you're not, or if you're having doubt about your own capacity, you are very capable. Just remember that. I do thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, but most of all for showing up. And I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting and keeping me safe. All right, Scorpio, I'm just going to do, I was going to cut, but this card didn't want to go in. So here we see the 10 of Wands. So again, coming to the end of a cycle, putting down a burden, and recognizing that you cannot fix everything, and some things are definitely out of your hand. The work that you've done that should have been done by other people, again, you're accountable for what you bring to the table. And if you are bringing, well, trying to bring other people's work to an end, well, you're exhausted. And this is where Spirit steps in and says, no, you can't. You have to put the burden down and know that you're graduating to a higher level. You're starting off with something better, and following your intuition and knowing that what you want will bring you happiness. And whatever you were doing before is coming to an end. The independence that you know you can take on and do your own thing, because we saw the Page of Pentacles before. That would have been the 9. Now we see in the Queen of Pentacles to bring in that 10. So again, being able to stand on your own, taking on the initiative to take your own step forward and be satisfied and be rewarded for the work. Again, coming back to the 4, having that contract come in, or going towards marriage for some of you, having a new beginning, reconciliation. I mean, you take it as it resonates at this point, because there's so many variables coming in through the messages. It really depends on your situation. If you are trying to start something new, your own business, or you just want to step away from a type of lethargy that you may have been caught up in with other people, or you realize they're not going in the same direction you want to go, your leadership is starting to take form. But you must be confident and know that, again, you are quite capable. We saw that with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot by Giulia Massaglia. Keep messing up her name. Massaglia. And of course, I'm using the Celtic Cross spread, and for the energy card that comes around where it's not you, it's other people, I'm using the energy oracle cards by Sandra and Taylor to get a deeper insight on that energy that comes around you that you're not aware of. And for the overall energy, I'm using the Mystical Shaman Oracle that's created by Alberto Villoldo with Colette Baron-Reid and Marcela Lobos. First card out, we have the Justice card. So there is that sense of seeking out justice, or standing in the right, or wanting to be in the right, fighting for what is right, reaching for that, really looking at what your own personal truth is and what you believe is the right thing to do. That's where you are, because you have been looking back at what has happened or what was going on or certain interactions, and you're coming to realize through the Hermit that something isn't right, or you need to step into the light to be on the right side, because you don't want to be caught up in certain shady dealings. And here we see the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands that we saw earlier, being that it is a burden. That burden is going to be put down because you're revealing truth, or you're seeing truth, or truth is coming to you. Or just the mere fact that you recognize what the truth is, not yours or another person's, but the truth, the burden will be released. Here we have your thoughts. Now I can't remember the one I did before. I think it was Gemini had this card here, but so did another reading that I had done earlier. The 6, it's really a choice. You have choice on your mind. And again, we're all going through that, where we need to really pick on, is this what I want? Is this where I want to go? Is this who I want to be with? And really go with that conviction, and knowing that it is a high arcana, you're being drawn to, whether it is a truth, a situation, a person, you're being drawn to that, and you can't go in another direction, or your mind is bent on having and making this choice. See, here we have what was in the past. We saw coming into this shuffle here, well, into this spread, in the shuffle, we saw the 9 of Pentacles. So work that has been done. Again, you've done something that's bringing you towards the justice, being in the right, standing in the light, having justice come in. You've done the work. You're being rewarded, or you've already been rewarded. Scorpio, you've seen your efforts pay out. This is where you have a choice to make, and you want to go with that. You can't seem to leave a certain trend of thought or a decision that you know you need to make. You want to go that way. Here we have the 5 of Wands. So having had a discussion, debate, sharing opinions, hearing other people out, you're ready to make that choice. Certain information has come to you. More Wands. We have quite a passionate feeling that you have going on around you for the month of October. Again, that is where arguments and debates and discussions and really going with what you want. It's really you're being guided, particularly by the higher arcana, but also by past effort, and just that intellect that you really know what you want. And because you've received certain details, or you've come to the end of a situation that things are making sense why they had to happen in the particular way that they did, you're ready to step forward into a contract, whether it's a contract of marriage or for work. Either way, you're looking at the truth, and you're making your choice based on past experience and work that you've done and discussions that you've had to go into a level of graduation, where it could be you're graduating from school, or you're getting that degree, or you are finding that you're relating better to particular people that you may have had discussion with, because this is the 5 and This is the 4. So it is very passionate to begin with. It is very creative if it is that it is work that you are trying to contract or trying to step into the adulthood of a relationship wherein you were ready, you weren't ready for marriage, now you are. Or you were having discussion and looking at the pros and the cons, and now you're ready. Because again, you can't be driven away, you can't be derailed. It is what you want. This is something that you really, really want. It's been on your mind. Here we have the Queen of Wands come back. So that sense of independence, that leadership, that determination. You are in a position of I know what I want, and I'm not letting anyone take it from me, or I'm not letting anyone stop me from getting it. Again, it is having had certain experience, knowing certain truths, that you are basing yourself on the position you're taking now, where you want to be independent, you want to be in control. Be very careful of how much control you think you want to have, or that you think that you do have, because she is the type that will set things up to make sure the work gets done, encouraging those who need to work together, to band together. Again, it could be relating to conversations that you had in the past. It could be that the victory is now playing itself out into your hands, where we see this becomes a 6 of Wands. Could also be the ego, because she can have a very vicious ego, right? Be very careful, Scorpio, on how much control you think you have or even want in a situation. People around you are thinking maybe it's not fair, or maybe it is fair. They want a fair deal. They want 50-50. They want to have a say if it is that you've overpowered them, or you've taken that step forward where you are in control. People around you, the other people that you may have been dealing with, are thinking, well, I really want to be treated fairly. Again, you're working with the justice, so it's not as if you're in the wrong. But again, with the planets shifting the way they are, ego can get the better of us if we're not careful. Reaching in and being humble, Scorpio, would be the best way to go, or to approach people around you who may think that they're not being treated fairly, because they want a fair deal. Here we see the Queen of Cups. So again, more control here, more dealing with the emotional side of a relationship, or the doubts and fears in particular are showing up here, where you may be holding back, or they may be holding back, or they think that you may be holding back from a particular relationship, or from sharing, whether it is sharing wealth, sharing information, being more discerning. They may be thinking that they should be, or they are thinking maybe you have become more discerning. Or the fear in itself is that there is a selfishness, because she can be very selfish. Again, I want my way or the highway. I want what I want it now. This is the Queen of Wands, but that is on a level that could be in a negative state. If it is that you are being generous, following your intuition, being fair-minded, again, where the Justice card is showing that is where you are, then it would be a question of being more open and sharing what you do know, what you do have with others. At least being more discerning because of information that you have acquired. And having a second chance come. Again, it is the request of others who would want a second chance if it is not you. Seeing that you have enough information to work with, and a marriage contract working or a relationship type of contract is on the horizon here. We have the Ace again coming back with the Page of Cups. So it is a question of starting over, having a second chance, being committed, being fair. Again, we see coming back or going away, wanting to move on and find the ninth cup and have that sense of happiness coming in. A second chance. We see the truth coming forward here about why someone left or why someone will come back. And then we have the King of Cups showing up again with the Queen of Swords. So it is the king here who may be feeling that he's been cheated, wanting to have that recognition and reclaim his position next to you as a partnership would go. Here we see the Two of Wands, that plans are to be changed and confusion is to be overcome with knowledge and information. And again, that discernment needs to be worked out. So that would be where the weakest point or the fears coming up would be that there is an imbalance with the discernment on making choices, on deciding who's in charge or taking on that leadership, but wanting to have a say, wanting to take things to another level of relationship, wanting to come back into a relationship, wanting to follow what you love or what they love. Again, we will look at the Six of Pentacles for the energy of what's going on around you. It could be individuals, it could be one individual in particular, really depends on your situation. What is the energy represented in the Six of Pentacles for Scorpio? Thank you, Spirit. I'll just take a random card for that. Yeah, we see caring connection. So somebody really wants to heal a relationship, come back in with you, have that second chance. Let's see here. Friendship, partnership of two, possible love. Let's see, in the upright, we see this card shows a couple in a tender embrace with the woman holding the blossoms of a new love. Like the community card, this reveals a caring connection, but usually between two people only. This card upright signals the beginning or deepening of a kindred spirit friendship, or even the appearance of new love. It can also signify a formal business partnership. When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunities to forge new or deeper bonds. There may be a tender karmic connection at hand. So again, someone wanting a second chance, something just wanting to come in and have that sense of give and take and feel like they belong with you. Let's see the reverse here, because it could go the other way. This card reverse signals a break in communication or a parting of the ways of two people, whether romantic, social, or business. The present connection seems to be at or close to an end. Yes, because you may be angry with them and they want to make things right with you. If this is the case, consider what healthy action needs to be taken to move on. As difficult as a parting may be, it can often lead to bigger and better things. Keep in mind both the logistical and emotional aspects of leaving this connection behind. Make plans. Vent your feelings. Always remember, with every ending, a new beginning is at hand. Now, again, you must take that as it resonates, because there is an ending of a cycle. There is a new beginning. There is a second chance. Take it as it resonates. And the affirmation for this energy is, I open my heart and life to truly caring connections. The ideal friend and partner is coming to me now, and this is what they would want to exert or feel, that they are in that energy, because that's where they are. They want to be either in a relationship with you, come back to you, or move on, because they're not getting what they expected to get from the relationship. What is the general energy for Scorpio in this read for October? Let's see here. The Vision Quest. My. Scorpio. That's near the end of this deck. Let's see. In the Vision Quest, you face your fear, embrace your mortality, and then meet face to face with Spirit. When we feel stagnant, a Vision Quest brings our lives into perspective. We realize our flaws, our potential, and the opportunities life is now offering us. We remain on a Vision Quest until we find the key to open a new door or write a new chapter in our lives. Find clarity by spending time alone in nature. If you live in a city, or go for walks in a park. If you live in the country, make sure that you spend time outside in contemplation. Get off the couch, get away from your desk, go outside. Spirit helps those who help themselves. So set your intention and ask nature for a guiding vision of your life. You might want to go back to the beginning of this read where I pulled those first cards. On that note, I thank you again, Scorpio, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, love and light.